There are two kinds of things, stuff we can control and stuff we can't. Things like what we like, how we feel, and what we do. We're the boss of those. But things like our body, money, and what people think of us, not so much. Those are like wild things. This famous Greek thinker's life guide starts like this. If you want a good life without too much trouble, you gotta know what you can control and what you can't. We should use our energy on the stuff we can control and forget about the rest. Here's some smart advice. Other people's thoughts and opinions can mess with you. Sometimes they make you feel bad, sometimes good. But those thoughts and words aren't our job to worry about. So brace yourself for the ultimate stoic principles, your guide to invincibility in a world of unpredictable outcomes. Stay tuned because the last might be what you need. First rule, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Stoic philosophy pointed a secret out. The most important thing for you to understand is that there is very little within the reach of your control. Some slip away no matter how hard you try. Most of what's happening out there, it's gotta unfold no matter what you do. But here's the silver lining. You've got the say-so in how you react. Aurelius, that wise legend, drops this knowledge bomb. Your mind, it's your kingdom. Your thoughts, beliefs, and actions, that's your domain. When you funnel your energy there, you transform into this unstoppable force. You own your world from the inside out. And guess what? That makes you a master at handling whatever curveballs life throws your way. However, when you focus on what's happening outside, that's like trying to tame a wild stallion. It'll leave you worn out, spinning your wheels. And trust us, that's not a winning strategy. So take a tip from the Stoics. Put your energy where it matters, inside. Master your mind, and you'll master the game of life, and your well-being will be sound. Now take a look at rule number 2. It's silly to try to escape other people's faults. They're inescapable. Just try to escape your own. In life, control, it's like your territory. Your thoughts and your actions are your playground. But when it comes to others and how they roll, it's a different story. Some might talk about bossing people around, flexing muscles, but the truth is everyone's their boss, no matter what. Their actions, what they think, it's like a wild horse. You just can't tame it. So here's the deal. You're stuck with folks you don't jive with, those who bug you or talk nonsense. But here's the good part. You decide how much they mess with your groove. Aurelius, the old philosopher, says that you can't dodge them, but you can handle it like a champ. Think of it like water off a duck's back. Keep your cool, keep your peace of mind. And while you're at it, work on being the hero of your story. Act and think in a way that matches the real you. That's how you own the game. Rule number 3 is like your playbook for life. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When it comes to humans, they're like your closest buds. Why? Because sometimes you gotta lend a hand, do some good, and put up with their quirks. But when certain folks turn into roadblocks, they're just like any other obstacle, whether it's the sun, the wind, or even a wild critter. They're in the same league as those things. However, you need to toughen up and face whatever might get in the way of your action, like a pothole on the road. And with your thoughts, your attitude, your whole way of being, you've got to transform those hurdles into boosts. Your mind needs to turn those obstacles into stepping stones. So when something messing with your groove comes your way, remember this. It's not just a hurdle, it's your chance to level up. That roadblock is a guidepost showing you the way forward. You take that challenge, you own it, and you turn it into rocket fuel for your journey. The next rule is worth giving life attention to. So what's the rule? If you're distressed by anything external, the pain isn't due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. These Stoic thinkers, they've got this idea that a major source of your misery isn't so much what's happening around you, but how you see it. We're talking about seeing things from the right perspective. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. Some folks might go on a full-blown rant, complaining like nobody's business. Why? Because they expect to be moving on a fast lane and not standing still. But listen, it's not the traffic causing the suffering. It's the thoughts that hitch a ride along with it. Let's break it down. Traffic, it's like a blank canvas. It's not wearing a good or bad sign. It's just a fact of life when you're driving. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. Now, you've got 2 roads to take here. You can make the most of your time by listening to podcasts, audiobooks, or music while waiting in traffic, or you can turn it into a nightmare by piling on expectations, belief, and all that jazz. And here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about traffic. This is your ticket to handling life's hurdles, from job interviews to the weather, even dealing with other peeps. It's all in the mix. The dude who gets that how he sees things shapes how he reacts, he's the one who's got the upper hand. He's the master of his moment, and guess what? Less suffering is on his menu. So the next time life throws a traffic jam your way, remember this. It's not the roadblock that's the issue. It's how you paint it in your mind. Flip the script, change your perspective, and suddenly you're the director of your show. That's the Stoic secret, and now you're in on it. Rule number 5. You always own the option of having no option. There's never any need to get worked worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things aren't asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. Marcus Aurelius poured out this lesson, and it's true in our modern world where information and news fly without your permission. Get this, social media will grow all the news and chaos, world events, human rights battles, news stories, disasters. It's like a whirlwind of info hitting you left and right. And that's not even counting the real life stuff. Your job, your love life, your health, your bank account, it's all in the mix. But guess what? You don't gotta have an opinion on everything that flashes in front of your eyes. You ain't a judge in a reality TV show. You've got the power to choose where you plant your flag, where you invest your energy. Now, pay attention. If you don't guard this territory, you're gonna end up like other people in the ditch. And those quick judgments you're tossing around, they might be as solid as a house of cards, based on snippets of info you barely caught. But here's some advice. Be intentional. Pick your battles like a general on the battlefield. Decide what you're gonna stand for, what you're gonna care about. That's how you keep your sanity in check and your mind razor sharp. So remember, you don't need to have an opinion on every little thing. Focus on what matters, and you'll be a powerhouse in those select few areas. It's not about quantity, it's about quality, and that's how you rise to the top. Now, rule number 6 takes us to how things change over time. So here it is. Time is like a river made up of the events which happen and a violent stream. For as soon as a thing has been seen, it's carried away, and another comes in its place, and this will be carried away too. When we talk about meditations, we're diving into deep thought. Change. You see, change is like the main player in this cosmic game. Everything around you, from the smallest twig to the grandest event, is on a constant journey of transformation. Take firewood, for example. It goes from being just wood to becoming blazing heat that warms us up. Food, it transforms into the energy that keeps you going. Even people, including you and me, evolve over time. And those big events, well, they sure don't stay the same. Now, if you're dead set on things staying put, you're kinda going against the natural flow of the universe. That's a bit like trying to hold back a raging river with your bare hands. It just won't work. You know what that Roman philosopher dude Aurelius said? When something arrives on the scene, it's just a matter of time before it takes a bow and another act begins. Life's like a constant rotation of actors on a stage. So here's a wisdom tip. Instead of locking horns with change, befriend it, embrace it, and dance along with its rhythm. Rule number 7. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. When you roll out of bed, you're like a champion stepping into the ring of a brand new day. You've got a golden ticket to the greatest show on earth, life itself. Imagine this. You take that first breath of the day and it's like a victory lap for your lungs. Your brain kicks into gear, ready to conquer challenges and dive into opportunities. And let's not forget about the joy ride of soaking up all the good stuff life has to offer. The smiles, the laughter, the sweet moments that make your heart dance a little jig. But here's a secret. Every day gives you the privilege to not only give love, but to receive it as well. Whether it's the warmth of a hug, the twinkle in someone's eye, or just feeling connected to the world around you, it's all part of the fantastic package deal called being alive. So as you rise and shine, remember that you're not just waking up, you're gearing up for a day of awesomeness. You're alive and kicking, ready to soak up every drop of goodness, every breath of fresh air, and every opportunity to spread love like confetti. Life's a gift, and every morning is like unwrapping it anew. So go out there and embrace the privilege of being alive with open arms and a heart full of gratitude. Follow these rules and you'll level up your life and be in charge.